Hello traders, my name is Tomasz Wiśniewski and I'm a Chief Analyst in Alpari Research and Analysis. This is daily analytical report, so we will try to look for different trading setups on the market and explain you what is going on the markets. And I guess that the most important event right now is the reversal stocks. Which is not actually very surprising because I tell that very often that American stocks love V-shaped reversals, and those V-shaped reversals are happening and they will be happening. So we just need to get used to that. And actually those V-shaped reversals make going short much harder, which is good for the buyers, right? Because if many people are trying to avoid going short because they are afraid of the potential reversal, it's good. It's good for the buyers, right? If people are afraid to go short. On the calendar, we had mixed data from UK, so retail price came slightly better than expectations, but inflation was lower than expected. And let me show you the British pound. Here is the British pound against American dollar, and as you can see, the reaction is negative. Also, we got an inflation from Eurozone. Inflation from Eurozone is very important here, and you can see that it came slightly worse than expectations, but the difference is not big, which is not surprising because usually this data is spot on. They are very good in predicting this data. The consensus is always very close to the actual number. And still to come, we will have FOMC minutes, obviously from US. So the most important data is already there, data from UK and Eurozone. And they are worse than expected. Let's look at the charts right now. We will start with the euro dollar. Euro dollar is going lower. What I'm drawing here, I'm extending the neckline of this inverse head and shoulder formation, which started the reversal. This neckline was later used as a support for the actually, let's make it like that, for the symmetric triangle pattern. Here is the resistance. This is the upper line of the symmetric triangle pattern. And this should result with a further upswing, but the price did not break the upper line, but broke the lower line of this formation, and today we tested that as a resistance. So this is a sell signal on the euro dollar. Not the strongest one though on the record. The technical analysis is showing us that we should go south. First target is on the blue line, which makes it a good occasion for the short-term traders because it's an opportunity only for 18 pips. But the next one is 50 pips lower. It's this orange support on 115.10. So we do have a sell signal on euro dollar. But the real star of the trading is the S&P 500, definitely. What we had here on S&P 500 was the pennant formation for the past few days, 1 to 3 days. And look at the big picture here. The pennant happened on the uptrend line and on the horizontal support. So it was promoting the breakout of this uptrend line, the breakout of this horizontal support. But the breakout did not happen. Instead of going down, the price went higher and broke the horizontal resistance here on 2,790 points. That breakout brings us a buy signal, and that is another V-shaped reversal. We shouldn't be surprised. S&P 500 American indexes love V-shaped reversals. We had that here at the beginning of the year and many years before. The thing is that we have the closest support here. Price most probably will come back to this support and then we should go higher. So there is a positive sentiment, let's say like this, but for the buy signal I would wait for the further decline, because with this current H4 candle, further decline in the short term is probable. So the end of the story for S&P 500 is that we should get a short-term decline and long-term upswing. Now American dollar to Canadian dollar, the instrument is drawing the right shoulder of the inverse head and shoulder pattern. Most recently we defended this downtrend line, but unfortunately the technical situation is messed up a little bit, so I don't see any trading pattern here, I don't see any trading signal here. Now gold is doing what was planned, so gold is aiming this horizontal resistance. Maybe it will not happen, it did not happen yesterday, maybe it will not happen today, but in overall the price should be getting there. The price making higher lows and higher highs. We should get to this resistance. This resistance comes from the 38.2 Fibonacci, comes from this support, comes from this resistance, and the buy signal is triggered by the breakout of the upper line of the triangle, breakout of the horizontal resistance, and we should get there soon. We should get to the 38.2 relatively easy. Next one is WTI oil, which is on a horizontal support right now. WTI oil was having a triangle, but I think triangle is no longer relevant here. Price will be more respecting the rectangle, I guess. In case you believe in the triangle, you have a buy signal because the price broke the upper line of the triangle. For me, it's not significant enough. I would say that price closing a day above this rectangle will be a buy signal only. The sell signal will be triggered when the price will break the green line. Unfortunately for the sellers, as long as we stay unfortunately for the sellers, as long as we are above the green line, there is no sell signal. Now euro to Swiss franc, correction equality pattern, almost. We have a congestion of important resistances here. That is why the price cannot go high so easily. So we have 38.2, we have a horizontal resistance, we have a correction equality pattern, we have an upper line of the flag, and price is usually following the path of the least resistance. So in this case we should go lower because we don't have major supports, but we will see, we have to wait. On cable we need to adjust the price movement, the situation to the recent price movements here. On H1 chart. On H1 chart I don't see anything actually. Maybe there is a left shoulder head and a right shoulder, but at the same time I'm not convinced about this pattern. There is this resistance, but no, I don't see anything interesting on the cable. So actually I'm gonna remove this chart. What about Australian dollar to American dollar? There is this clear resistance, dynamic resistance. Most probably this resistance will lead us to this line, and this is long-term downtrend line. That will be interesting to see what is going to happen here, because price bouncing from this line, creating a bearish candlestick will be a strong signal to go short. So definitely my eyes are on the Australian dollar to American dollar because we are approaching major downtrend line, and that's what I did here. I sold here after this bounce from the downtrend line with this shooting star here. Once I'm gonna see a similar pattern here, I will not hesitate to go short. That was one of the best trading setups recently on the market, the short position on Australian dollar to American dollar, because in one place I had loads of sell signals, sell factors. Yes, that will be super interesting to see what is going to happen. Like a drop, another touch, and boom. Fingers crossed for that. Canadian dollar to Japanese yen still is trying to draw this right shoulder of the head and shoulder pattern, head and shoulders pattern. We'll see how this one will finish. As for now, no trading signal. Dollar index. Dollar index has an interesting pattern because, as you can see, here we had a correction of this upswing, and the correction stopped on 50% Fibo, right? We stopped on 50% Fibo, but yesterday the price broke this support and then came back. Okay, let me show you one thing, because that one, okay, like I'm sorry, wrong top. That one here was a descending triangle pattern, and it should result with the breakout of the lower line, then maybe a pullback, and then a further drop. But the price reversed, which makes this a false breakout. And in addition to that, we have a triple bottom formation, or if you do not consider this, as this one is not lower than this, it's a double bottom here. Also a neckline of this formation. So we have combination of two patterns, double, triple bottom, and a descending triangle which failed. So the breakout of the blue line gives us legitimate buy signal based on those two formations. And after the breakout, we tested that as a support, and now the price is aiming higher. So it is a positive sign for the dollar index, and the first aim is marked with a red color, second one with a blue color. So I'm positive for the American dollar. American dollar to Japanese yen has the same situation. So look, long-term uptrend line, good defended. Here, here, here. 61.8, good defended. And in addition to that, we broke the downtrend line here. That is a buy signal. Buy signal will be even stronger when we will break the 50% Fibo, which is a resistance here. Look, resistance, support, support, resistance, resistance. Once the orange line will be broken, we will receive a legitimate strong buy signal. Euro to British pound, and that's a breakout of the dynamic uptrend line. We were waiting for the test, which happened. We had few potential targets, so 50% along with the horizontal resistance, then the uptrend line, many potential targets, and those movements are not very technical. Maybe if I would force myself to find something, that would be a flag in a very early stage, or a wedge. So something like that. We should see the movement towards here, and then the breakout. That would make sense. But we are not in a hurry. We can wait for the situation to develop, right? Trading is the game for patient traders. As Warren Buffett said, trading is the game where the money goes from the from the impatient traders, from the traders who are not patient to the patient ones. What we are having here is the New Zealand dollar to Swiss franc with the inverse head and shoulder pattern, left shoulder head and right shoulder, breakout of the downtrend line, breakout of the horizontal resistance, which gives us a legitimate buy signal, and I was talking about that yesterday, and this is what happened. So we broke it, defended that as a support, and now we have an upswing. So that is a legitimate buy signal, like a long-term buy, which with, I guess, has a resistance somewhere here. In terms of the risk to reward ratio, that's pretty sweet. 40 pips stop loss, 200 pips profit. Australian dollar to New Zealand dollar, after the drop we have a correction, and this is awesome because now we can estimate where this correction will end. We have the first resistance 23.6, but we have another one 38.2, which is in line with the recent price movements, and I would be absolutely amazed if I had an opportunity to enter with a short position here. So a further upswing, some kind of a bearish correction here, bearish price action here, and a drop. Now Swiss franc to Japanese yen. After 2 days of a correction, after that again 1, 2, let's make it like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. After 13 days of a drop, we have 2 days of a correction, and now we're going back to the correction mode, to the main trend mode. So a further downswing. So the situation here is not very good. What we have here is an upper line of the triangle. That's an ascending triangle. But according to the price action, most probably it will result with the breakout of the lower line. British pound to Japanese yen. I was waiting for the drop. I was mistaken because I thought that the drop will happen from this resistance, but the price went higher. But now we're coming back, but it's too late anyway. So my view of the price action here was wrong, and well, still we bounce from those lines, okay, but I thought that we're gonna bounce a bit earlier from this horizontal resistance after the closing of a gap. But anyway, what can you do? Now DAX. After the breakout of the neckline, this yellow tested this neckline as a resistance, which was expected, and we warned you about that many times. And now we have 2 ways. How can you trade it? If you believe in this trading signal, that is a legitimate signal for a long-term, maybe not recession, but finally a long-lasting bear market, this is a place for you to go short. On the other hand, if you do not believe in that, and you believe that the DAX will perform a V-shaped reversal, and it's all good, and we should see the continuation of the uptrend, then it's a nice occasion to buy as well. I would be in this first group. Obviously, I'm not trying to estimate if the price will go up or down. It's not my thing to do. What I'm doing is trying to react on the price movements, and now going short would be pretty typical reaction, because broken support is being tested as a resistance, and the price action here is bearish, and this is a pretty typical price action setup, which is many traders are looking for this kind of a setup, right? Many traders are hunting for this kind of a price action. So yes, now a Bitcoin. yesterday's upswing. Now we do have a small correction. The thing is that it does not change anything. The upswing from yesterday, it was expected. The scale, maybe the power, was not expected, but the price getting there more or less was expected because we broke the lower line of the flag. We bounced from the horizontal support, and it was expected that after the bounce we should see the test of this downtrend line again. Why? Because that's a descending triangle pattern, and that's what's happening for the past year, since January. We bounce from the support, we go there, bounce from support, we go there, bounce from the support, go there, bounce, go, bounce, go, bounce, go. And now this range is tight. It's getting tighter. It's getting more tight. We have this horizontal resistance on $6,700, let's say. Horizontal support, 5,900. We have this downtrend line, and it's time to decide about the future of the Bitcoin. Breakout of the orange resistance will bring us a situation like from the end of the last year, boom. A breakout of the yellow area will bring us the situation like from the beginning of the year, boom. That's the future of the Bitcoin, and times will get and we should get like the decision really soon. From the technical point of view, that should happen maybe even in October. Nikkei defended the uptrend line. Nikkei is moving in line with other indexes, so with a strong drop and a reversal. The thing is, it did not happen in a random place, right? We bounced from the major uptrend line, but the thing is that as long as we stay below the yellow area, there is no buy signal. Breakout of the yellow area, which is a super important resistance. Here, May, June, July, August, October. Breakout of the yellow line, buy signal. Breakout of the green line, sell signal. And now, last but not least, Nasdaq, which loves V-shaped reversals, and made one as well. So with this, I thought that we'll get at least here, but traders made a V-shaped reversal on horizontal support with a psychological barrier of 7,000 points, and we got this bounce. We are still higher with this. Well, we do have, well, maybe not like that, but we do not have a sell signal anymore. Sell signal will be triggered once we will break this support. If we will get a bit closer to here, we have this resistance on 7,400 points, which will be the closest resistance, and the breakout of the orange area will give us a buy signal. Nasdaq is not the most technical one. I think that the S&P 500 looks much better from the technical point of view. Here, reversal and further upswing, or DAX drop. So you can see that we have pretty different signals on European indexes and American, which can be surprising, but not so much if you will see the price movements here, right? So on the DAX we had tops in January, and since that we do have a correction, and on American indexes, as you can see here, we had tops in October most recently. So European indexes are in a much weaker condition than the American peers, so we shouldn't be surprised that we get opposite signals right now on the indexes. Let me quickly recap the situation for you. So euro dollar, it's most probably sell, S&P 500, it's most probably sell in the short term, buy in the long term. American dollar, Canadian dollar, no signal. Gold, that's buy. Oil, that's no signal. Euro to Swiss franc, no signal. Australian dollar, American dollar, I would love to see the sell signal on the black line. Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, no signal. Dollar index, that's buy. American dollar, Japanese yen, after the breakout of the orange line will be buy. Euro to British pound, after the bounce from the blue line will be sell. New Zealand dollar to Swiss franc, that is buy. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, bounce from the orange area will be a strong sell. Swiss franc, Japanese yen, no signal. British pound, Japanese yen, no signal. DAX, that is sell. Bitcoin, that is rather sell. Nikkei, breakout of the yellow line, buy. Breakout of the green line, sell. And Nasdaq, which has rather buy signal. So guys, this is the situation on the market. Thanks very much for attending to our webinar. And now a short break, and after that a educational webinar about MetaTrader 4. Remember that trading and investment in financial markets involves an element of risk. And in the meantime, visit our Twitter account and our website alpari.news. All the best.